Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're uncovering the chilling story of the 1976 Chowchilla Kidnapping, the largest mass abduction in U.S. history. 26 children and their bus driver were taken hostage in a terrifying crime that shocked the nation. From the twisted minds of the kidnappers to the incredible escape of the victims, we'll explore every harrowing detail of this true story. If you love gripping true crime and stories of survival, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more. Now, let's dive into the terrifying tale of the Chowchilla Kidnapping. On July 15, 1976, the rural town of Chowchilla, California, became the unlikely stage for one of the most chilling crimes in American history. For the children of Dairyland Elementary School, July 15 was a day of joy and freedom. They had spent the afternoon on a class trip to the Chowchilla Fairgrounds swimming pool, their laughter ringing out as they splashed in the water. At the end of the day, the children boarded their familiar yellow school bus, driven by 55-year-old Ed Ray, a man they trusted implicitly. As the bus wound its way through the quiet, sun-soaked roads of Chowchilla, no one could have imagined the nightmare that awaited. At approximately 4 p.m., the bus encountered a white van parked diagonally across the road. Ed slowed to a stop, puzzled. Before he could react, 3 armed men wearing nylon stockings over their faces stormed onto the bus. The masked men carried guns and moved with practiced precision. They ordered Ed and the children to the back of the bus, warning them to stay silent. Terror filled the air as the children clutched each other, tears streaming down their faces. Ed, trying to maintain calm, quietly reassured them even as fear gnawed at him. The men drove the bus off the road into a bamboo thicket, where it was hidden from view. They had planned every detail meticulously, ensuring no one would stumble upon their operation. The kidnappers were 3 men, Frederick Newhall Woods IV, aged 24, and brothers James and Richard Schoenfeld, aged 24 and 22. What made this crime even more shocking was the backgrounds of the perpetrators. They were not desperate criminals but came from wealthy, privileged families in the San Francisco Bay Area. The leader of the operation, Frederick Woods, was the son of a wealthy quarry owner. He grew up in affluence but exhibited troubling tendencies from an early age. Described as cold and self-centered, Woods had an obsession with crime stories and an unquenchable thirst for wealth and power. Despite his family's fortune, he felt entitled to more and saw kidnapping as his ticket to riches. The Schoenfeld brothers were close friends of Woods. Although also from wealthy families, they struggled with financial instability. James had failed as a real estate agent, while Richard, fresh out of high school, was impressionable and easily manipulated by Woods' charisma. Desperate for money, they allowed themselves to be swept into Woods' grand scheme. The trio's motive was simple: ransom. Inspired by the movie Dirty Harry, in which a school bus is hijacked for ransom, they sought to exploit public and governmental pressure by targeting children. They believed their plan would be foolproof, netting them $5 million in ransom money from the state. For months, they prepared. Using Woods' family quarry in Livermore, California, they constructed an underground bunker. The bunker, buried 12 feet beneath the earth, was a cramped, suffocating chamber with plywood walls and a steel hatch. Inside, they placed mattresses, meager food supplies, water barrels, and a few portable toilets. It was a grim and inhumane prison, designed for maximum psychological torment. The victims of the crime were ordinary children, ages 5 to 14, from farming families in Chowchilla. They were bright, full of life, and loved their small-town community. Among them were Jennifer Brown Hyde, a 9-year-old who would later become one of the most vocal survivors. Michael Marshall, a 14-year-old who would emerge as a leader during the ordeal. Larry Park, aged 6, who would carry the trauma into adulthood. Ed Ray, the school bus driver, was a beloved figure in Chowchilla. Known for his kindness and calm demeanor, Ed was a father figure to many of the children. His bravery and resourcefulness during the crisis would prove instrumental in their survival. After hiding the school bus in the thicket, the kidnappers transferred the hostages into 2 blacked-out vans. The vans, stripped of seats and lined with foam to muffle sound, were stiflingly hot and claustrophobic. For 11 harrowing hours, the children and Ed endured the pitch-black journey, their terror magnified by the unknown. Many of the younger children cried uncontrollably, while the older ones tried to comfort them. When the vans finally stopped, the hostages were led at gunpoint into the underground bunker at the quarry. The descent into the bunker was horrifying, down a ladder into a narrow, foul-smelling pit. The kidnappers forced the hostages inside, sealing the entrance with a 100-pound steel plate covered in dirt. The bunker was nightmarish. The air was hot and stale, and the small space was overcrowded with 27 people. The meager supplies were insufficient to sustain them for long. The children clung to Ed Ray, their only source of comfort, as panic set in. The hours crawled by, and the conditions in the bunker worsened. The children grew dehydrated and exhausted. Ed Ray and Michael Marshall took charge, trying to keep spirits up. Ed encouraged the children to sing songs to distract them from their fear. Meanwhile, Michael began formulating a plan to escape. As the hours turned into a day, Ed and Michael realized they had to act. Examining the ceiling of the bunker, they identified the steel hatch as their only chance of escape. Using pieces of wood and their combined strength, they began prying at the hatch. It was an arduous, back-breaking effort that took hours. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they managed to dislodge the hatch. Dirt poured into the bunker, but they pressed on, creating a small hole large enough to crawl through. One by one, they climbed out into the fresh air, blinking against the sunlight. The group stumbled across the quarry, disoriented but determined. They found a security guard who immediately called the authorities. The hostages were taken to a nearby hospital, where they were treated for dehydration, shock, and minor injuries. Their escape marked the end of a 27-hour ordeal. The discovery of the quarry led investigators straight to Frederick Woods. Inside the bunker, they found documents linking the site to Woods' family. Within days, Woods and the Schoenfeld brothers were arrested. The kidnappers were sentenced to life in prison without parole. Over time, the Schoenfeld brothers were granted parole, but Woods remained incarcerated. The children and Ed Ray struggled with lasting trauma. Many suffered from nightmares, anxiety, and PTSD. Ed Ray, celebrated as a hero, passed away in 2012, remembered for his bravery and compassion. The Chowchilla Kidnapping remains one of the most harrowing crimes in American history. It is a story of greed and cruelty but also of resilience and heroism, a testament to the unyielding human spirit in the face of unimaginable terror. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this deep dive into the 1976 Chowchilla Kidnapping as gripping and unforgettable as we did. Stories like these remind us of the resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest of times. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to let us know, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories and fascinating documentaries. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you amazing content. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.